How much weight do you think the average American gains during the holiday season? It's actually not as much as you might think. In fact, only about 1 to 2 pounds according to the most recent research. And that might not seem like a lot, but that same research has also found that most of the weight is not fully lost after the holidays are over. And even though up to 40% of Americans set a fitness and nutrition goal for the new year, they don't really seem to kind of get that weight off at all. So 1 year might not have a major impact, but losing those extra pounds typically gets harder and harder over time, and weight continues to creep up every single year. And that's when you end up 5 to 10 years down the line wondering, how in the world did I gain 20, 30, 40 pounds? On top of that, people who are already carrying extra weight going into the holiday season have been found to gain more weight this time of the year than average, closer to 5 pounds actually. What this means for you, if you're on a weight loss journey or fat loss journey, is that this time of the year is pivotal when it comes down to your long-term results. Luckily, it's possible to maintain your weight and even drop some fat during the month of December during the holiday season. Only if you avoid the 6 mistakes that I'm going to be sharing in this video. And along with what not to do, I'm also going to be giving you 6 solutions that you can implement to make this season you even get fitter rather than taking steps back. So if you want to avoid packing on the extra pounds between Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve, and you want to get a jump start on those New Year's goals, make sure you keep watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Andres Ayesta. I'm a registered dietitian who works with men in their 30s, their 40s, and 50s. I help them lose weight and I help them build muscle. And I teach my clients a simple and sustainable method that lets them reach their goals without missing out on their life with their families and the kids. Clients like Michael, for example, who left this review last week about his first 7 weeks in the program. He's fitting into old clothes again. For the first time, he broke to the 200-pound barrier. And this guy actually went from 22% body fat to 12 in less than 3 months. He also completely changed his mindset, and he knows this is something that he can actually sustain long term. And the reason I wanted to share this is because the methods and lessons that my clients are using are exactly what I share on this channel. So if those are the results that you're looking for, make sure not only that you're subscribed to my channel, but at the same time, you go back and check out some of my previous videos so you can catch up on a lot of the great content that we try to put out. Now, when it comes down to weight loss, there's one time of the year that most people struggle with more than any other, and that is the holiday season. And I get it. There's a lot of big meals. You got holiday parties. You might be busy and stressed out. And it's easy to slip completely off track with your healthy habits without really meaning to. But it does not have to be that way. There are actually 6 common mistakes that I've seen in my 12 years as a dietitian that basically cause all the weight gain that happens over the holidays. And when you solve these, you can use this next month to not only maybe maintain, but even get leaner and fitter, just like any other month of the year. Now, I'm going to go through the 6 mistakes and their associated solutions, and I'll do it as quickly as I can with the just need to know information, because I know you got a lot on your plate right now, so I want to make sure that we keep it straight to it. Plus, my last videos have been a little bit too long. So let's get into mistake number 1. Mistake number 1 is you skip meals to save calories. Try to avoid that. When you know you've got a big holiday meal coming up and you're trying to manage your calories for weight loss, I know it can be really tempting to fast and skip meals earlier in the day so you don't need to worry about what you're going to be eating for dinner. But I'll be honest, and I have done that before. This is honestly a recipe for a big binge and lack of control, because if you don't eat all day long, you're going to be so hungry by the time that you get to dinner that you won't have any control around your habits when you're eating. You probably eat a lot more than you would have even if you're just eating normally. And you're most likely going to finish the night feeling stuffed and extremely uncomfortable. Same thing with the next day. The quick fix for this problem is learning how to strategically manage your calories throughout the day, because it's all about a budget. While you can still feel full and you can still feel satisfied. And the 2 ingredients that you need for that, I call it the P and V, it's protein and vegetables. Now, it's more protein and fiber, but then vegetables have fiber. Now, when all your meals are protein and fiber packed earlier in the day, not only it's going to keep your blood sugar balanced, it's also going to help you avoid the cravings, but at the same time, the amount of calories you'll most likely consume is going to be very, very, very smaller compared to what you would have normally done on that specific day. And also it's going to affect your hunger and your fullness hormones, so you feel a lot more satisfied with, again, a lot of fewer calories. So you focus on a lot on having more volume rather than having calorie density. I'll give you an example, like an egg white omelet with vegetables inside of it, a breakfast, and maybe some berries with it. Then maybe for lunch, instead of having like, you know, a starch, you'll have just simply like chicken with in like a bed of salad or something like that. And maybe you have like a smoothie with protein powder, berries, and maybe some chia seeds as a snack, and maybe a protein bar before you go to dinner. And then at dinner, you have some extra space in your calorie budget if you think about it that way, without feeling overly hungry. I do this all the time and it works like a charm, mostly because when I do that PMV strategy, typically I had no more than 5, 6, maybe 700 calories all day long. So I have a bigger budget to play with for the rest of the night. The second mistake is forgetting liquid calories count. Many people have a few more alcoholic drinks than usual around the holiday season, and that's not necessarily a problem as long as you're aware of the extra calories. I personally drink socially, and I'm sure many of you guys do, and it's possible to balance that with weight loss. Of course, I'm not saying alcohol is healthy or promoting drinking, but I want to give you the knowledge you need so you can make smarter choices about it. Alcohol, and I made a video about this, contains 7 calories per gram, which is fairly calorie dense compared to carbohydrates and fats or carbohydrates and proteins, for example. And that does not include all the sugary mixtures that you're gonna often find in mixed drinks like juices and different things like that. Alcohol also doesn't really give you any beneficial nutrients, and it can influence your decision making and contribute to overeating. If you're going to drink, I recommend trying to set a limit for yourself in advance and choosing the more calorie friendly options like an extra dry sparkling wine or prosecco or champagne, hard seltzers, a vodka soda with lemon or lime, a light beer, stuff like that. Now, if you want a deeper dive into the whole concept of alcohol, how it affects your body, how to manage it to reach your goals, even if it's not holiday related, I have another YouTube video on that, and I'm going to put it at the link in the description box so you can go and check it out. Mistake number 3 is stress eating. That is another common mistake that I see people make all the time, because there's a very deep connection between emotion and food, which is actually a big issue that I see all year long, really, that can honestly lead to weight gain. But typically it happens, or it can become more of a problem during the holiday season with more events, family gatherings, buying gifts, tons of other added responsibilities, particularly as a dad or as a parent. Many people will reach for the extra food to cope, make themselves feel better. They're just busy buying gifts and doing all kinds of different things like that. And when you pair that with very convenient higher calorie holiday treats all around the house, all around the places, all around work, you got a recipe for weight gain, clearly. Stress management is not easy, but the best way to combat stress is to find alternative stress relief techniques that you can incorporate into your day so that you can actually try to be a little bit more zen, and most likely you're going to eat less. Things like deep breathing exercises, going on a quick walk, 5 minutes of journaling when something really triggers a craving to overeat. It can also help to keep healthy snacks like vegetable sticks or higher protein options nearby, so you don't necessarily feel the need to munch on a bunch of stuff because you're choosing things that align with your goals. Now, if you want to learn more about the stress response, cortisol, and how to manage your stress, there's another video. Like I said, you need to check out a lot of the stuff we put out because there's a deeper dive into things that you can do to help you manage and get a hold or get a control under this. Mistake number 4 is not exercising or not really moving enough. It is common for exercise routines to completely go out the window during the holiday season. And pair that with a colder weather in many parts of the country, and it can be really hard to motivate yourself to get your steps in every day and get out of the house to maybe go to the gym. But just because working out can be more challenging this time of the year does not mean that you should just throw in the towel. My advice for this mistake is to change your view on what counts as a good workout. If you can't fit your normal gym session in, maybe a shorter home workout can still make a difference in your body, along with maybe your energy levels and your mood. Maybe you can incorporate a post-meal walk. Like sometimes we do this at home, especially after a big meal, to support your digestion, regulate your blood sugar, and also you can try to add bursts of movement. I call it exercise snacks. Well, I don't call it that. They're called that. But, maybe you can do a few push-ups in between meetings, or, throwing in like popping some squats when switching from one task to another. I also just got this like walking pad that is sitting right next to me. I should probably be recording it, walking on it so I can prove my point in here. But I can put that under my desk, I can raise this up, and I can get my steps in at home and while on a meeting or things like that. And it's been really helpful for busy days where I'm glued to my computer and I'm very sedentary. If that's something that would work for your job, I'm gonna also put the link to the walking pad that I got that is very affordable in the description box so that you can also check it out. Mistake number 5 is social snacking and ignoring the calories associated with that. I don't know why, but sometimes at holiday parties, and I have been to blame for this too, it can start to feel like calorie calories just don't count. It's easy to mindlessly eat chips, cookies, cheese platters, and more as you're chatting with friends and family. But just because overeating is very normalized at parties, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to participate in that if you have goals that you're working towards to. And sometimes that happens as a result of habit. It's like the way that we handle ourselves in social situations. The fix here, it's all about being mindful and create awareness about how you carry yourself in those moments. If you can, for example, more tactically speaking, fill a small plate with a few of your favorite snacks instead of grazing directly from the serving dishes in the serving table. This gives you a chance to be aware of what you're eating and control the sizes of the portions that you're putting in, and you can visually see them. Second, make sure you have a glass of water to sip on. Sometimes it's nice to just have something in your hand at a party or something to sip on when there's a lull in the conversation or it gets boring or awkward, rather than going back to the snack table or the bar or the drink table where you're gonna have more alcohol, right? This happens to me all the time. It's like this social awkwardness sometimes that we experience in social settings that makes us like feel like we need to kind of fill the void with something, and it typically tends to be food or alcohol. Now, if you're really starting to feel out of control, I recommend excusing yourself to go to the bathroom and taking a few deep breaths to reconnect with your goals, reconnect with your body, and really ask yourself, what do I really need right now? Instead of spiraling into an all or nothing thinking about food. Which brings me to the final holiday weight loss mistake, which is I think the biggest one and is the most destructive of them all, and that is the all or nothing thinking. The weight gain that happens over the holidays is never because of a couple of big meals. Most of the weight gain that happens is a result of the mindset that people have around this time of the year, because one big quote unquote bad meal turns into weeks of overeating. One missed workout turns into a month off of exercise and training. And they have this like what the hell mentality, which is like, what the hell, I know I'm going to overeat anyway. And they completely give up on their goals until the new year. What this looks like is eating all the desserts, having all the drinks, and paying no attention to calorie intake for the whole month of December, which of course is going to lead to weight gain. Now, this can be a tough mindset pattern to break because it's been created since you were probably little. But a change that you can start with is thinking of each day and even each meal in a day as a separate opportunity to make choices that support your goals. If you go off track at one meal, that is okay. You're gonna have the opportunity to course correct that in the next one or the next day. Drop the guilt and remember that one meal isn't going to sabotage your progress, and the very next time you eat is a chance to simply fuel your body correctly in a more balanced way. Perhaps it's the next day. You know, nothing thinking, it's honestly very destructive for many people. It's that mindset that really creates more problems, more so than anything else. But there you have your 6 mistakes and how to solve each of them. Now, when you're looking out at the holiday season overall, there are a couple different approaches that you can take when it comes down to making progress towards your weight loss goals. One approach some people might really take is using the end of the year to really double down on your goals and commit to finishing December completely dialed in on your nutrition and your fitness. But not everyone is going to want to take this approach, and that's completely fine too. For some people, it works to have this like all-in mindset around the holidays because it feels, or it makes them feel, that they're a little bit more structured. The second approach, which is typically better for the majority of the people, particularly clients that I help, it's to focus on maintenance this time of the year rather than being completely locked in on weight loss. You may have a bit more flexibility while still following a plan that will help you maintain any weight you've lost up until this point. This is a more laid back approach, and it's helpful if the holidays are a really crazy time for you and for your family. There isn't one approach that's better than the other. It's all about what your priorities are and what kind of timeline you have for yourself. So take some time to reflect on what you want to achieve before the end of this year and make the choices that are going to align with that while avoiding the 6 weight gain traps that I went through that many people unintentionally slip into. I know this can be a really tough time, or a tough time of the year, I guess, to navigate on your own. So if you don't want to have to figure this out on your own or by yourself, and you want me to guide you through this process with a step-by-step framework that men just like you are seeing insane results from, I'd love to chat. I'm literally going to drop a link in the description box, and I'm going to offer you a free assessment. We call it a Fit Data assessment. We can learn more about you, your goals, design, and help you feel like create a bit of a game plan session for you so you can at least identify where you need to go. And then if we have something that you can use to support you and to help you, and you are in need of a coach that can help you get to that place and it's a good fit for you, we can talk about what that may look like. But that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm wishing you happy holidays, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying it. We'll see you back anyway here next week for another video, and I'm sure we're gonna be doing some more holiday related content, and I'm excited for that to come soon. Bye for now, and we'll see you soon.